What a wonderful, pleasant surprise. Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Trump and China finally had some kissy time making a deal, friends. We're going to speak about that deal. We're going to speak about Vitalik. We're going to speak about Romania. Michael Chad Saylor buying more BTC. Christine Lagarde. Should you tip her if you see her at the strip club? We're going to speak about Tom Lee and Nvidia's CEO Jensen. All of that coming your way and more. We're going to look at this Bitcoin monthly candle. Now we begin November. Or as I like to call it, no Jeet November. So November is meant to be a good month. We have no faith from our Floptober, the first red October in literally 7 years. I mean, that's wild. That's sad. But it's bound to happen, right? They gave us 3 green Septembers in a row. And it's meant to be Rectember, and now they gave us poopy October, okay? Now, just to let you know, friends, don't get your hopes up, but just letting you know, statistically, October's actually a poopy month for stocks, okay? It's usually around poopy-ish, okay? So September's usually, I think, poop. October's a bit of a recovery, but the Santa rally is November, December, okay? So it has a lot of seasonality. So hopefully something good happens. I know I've been saying that literally 8 times a day for about 5 years. Hopefully something good happens. You know, this is Bitcoin and its monthly candle, friends. We are now beginning. Many people have called the top green, red, green, red, green, red. A lot of people think that it's like the distribution that we saw back here, over here, okay? But it's nowhere near close. But look, man, everyone can argue about what they want. I like this, man. I like how we came back. We retested the channel here, right? The Trump tariffs. And now we're up here, and we seem to be retesting this area too. I like it. Hopefully we have a thrust up coming later on. I know everyone's, we're still waiting and battling through this, pretty much this Trump deal, China deal, which has now been done. Here is Ethereum out here as well, still done. It's done its magic on staying on top of the wedge. Let's look at the close action of the Bitcoin price action. Still in the middle of the range. Literally dead middle. Okay? Literally dead in the middle of the range. Okay? So, look, we've had multiple tests here. I don't know what comes next. Okay? A lot of people will be like, oh, I know what happens. Down. Oh, I know what happens. Up. I got no idea. Okay? I got no idea. I can tell you now, though, because this thing swept back into the range, I guess you would be long, and your stops here, and you have a punt. And then you know what? Even if it comes down, friends, and it does this, and it retraces, you get long again. Whatever. You just raise your target. Because if it wants to scam you that many times. So you still don't know what happens, okay? You just try to set yourself up for a good position, right? Just like I told you, friends. Remember, you're going through the park. You're playing with a lot of bums. You're trying to find the bum who will let you play heads or tails, where if you win, you're going to get $10. But if you lose, you only pay $1. Okay, you don't want to play the games where they've inverted the risk reward for you, right? So you don't know when the bum flips the coin. You don't know that it's going to be heads or tails. You don't know. You just know that you're playing a good game. You want to keep playing that game. You don't want to play the game where if you win, you get $1, and if you lose, you're going to lose like 5. Okay, eventually you blow up. Now what I'm going to do is show you some close-up weekly action of BTC. Remember, we're still hanging around here, friends. I like how there's a lot of these wicks here. A lot of these wicks. I have now, I made this, I created this for you. Okay, friends, I'm here to serve you, the people. So when I make memes, it's not for me. It's for you. It's for us. It's for we. This is Pepe the Unicorn. This is Year of the Horsey, 2024. We are still in Year of the Snake. Everything looks like Year of the Snake, doesn't it? You know, I mean, I wish I took this more seriously at the beginning of the year. I never thought, because I remember, man, friends, I went to lunch. Remember, Matt? Actually, it wasn't lunch. I think it was dinner. Remember, Matt? We got like that. I think we got that beef roll. Okay, I can't remember if Matt got the beef roll as well. And he said, "Don't worry, snakes are wise and good in Chinese culture." Damn it, Matt! Damn it! You got me. You got me. You got all of us, Matt. Oh man, it's gonna be one hell of a move. Here you have BTC dominance, friends, as well. BTC dominance still hanging below the 10-period moving average. I guess there'll be more finality to the conclusion of how November goes out here. So you're very comfortable with this price action. Remember, gold, friends. gold. Hopefully, you know, it does continue just to stall out, but you can't really see it here. But if you put gold on like a daily chart, traditional blow off, retail lining up, okay? So hopefully gold's actually, you never know, friends, gold might stall out here, and then it might come back right into the 78% retrace here for a lower high, or maybe even pop the high, you never know, and then come back out here as the big bull market plays on. And then there'll probably be a conclusion for it later on. But yeah, man, like I know a lot of people saying gold's definitely going to 5,000. Look, I was saying the same thing too. Bro, there was just, look, man, when you just have this many people lining up, like you can't, like, okay, do you want gold to go to 5,000? I want it to. I like it, okay, because it forecasts, you know, higher crypto and stuff out here too. Also a bit of doom in the world. But like, you know, we just got to be honest, bro. Like, if I was to tell you, okay, gold doesn't make a new high for 2 years, would you believe me? You would, because you're like, okay, well, that makes sense. Retail lined up. They lined up, okay? Now, we don't have any conclusions from these 100%, but it's just, come on, bro. It's literally, it's like retail actually lined up for it. And it's just, what a stab in the back, man. The racist Russell 2000, remember, friends, we're going to see how this plays out throughout the week. So what I'm now going to do is go down to the S&P 500, just give you some quick friendly action out here, because the S&P 500, friends, we're going to see it open soon. Few hours, you got the few hour, maybe by the time you see this, it's open up here. So what I'm kind of expecting, so remember, this is just total guessing, okay, just total astrology, because we have the Trump deal, all right, and the S&P, friends, and the Nasdaq are like huge on a huge run, all right. I won't be surprised if on this move, so you don't know, right? On this move, there's some sort of gap up, and like gaps a bit up, or gaps here, or even gaps through the high. Who knows? Just some sort of gap up, and then it kind of like fades off into the US session, and then US comes and have a stab or something. Okay, maybe that's too much of a retracement. That would be like 3% down, maybe not that much. You know what I mean? I know 3% is nothing for you and me, but like that's quite a move for stock markets. It can always do that if it wants to, just to come and have a punt, have a test of the levels. So just because, you know, it's run up for so long, now you've got the deal and you got like the late long. I feel like it would be a bit of a news failure, but you don't know. We're still reacting just to see. So just to show you, that's what we expect. And if we see this happening, hopefully we also get to see some Goldie G music coming here. We will be cranking it, you and me, friends. Don't forget, okay? So this is the gold chart. Offset. We're like ready to go. All right, we're literally ready to go. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it. Nobody does. We're delayed by the global M2 liquidity. And then gold's actually done its move. Man, and here's where crypto is. So crypto this week, right? So I guess it can still go sideways. But man, this is a giant move, man. This implies $180,000. I'm too scared. I don't even know if this is even possible. We just go from nothing to like alt. I don't know. I don't think so, but whatever. There's too much damage out there. So as long as maybe Bitcoin just hangs around here, 115 to 120 by the end of the week, and then we can start to move up. But, you know, we don't have to move up. We can just move down as well. We're just like, hopefully, we get to see something positive for once. This is others BTC. Man, this thing has just literally been going down to zero for like 5 years. Literally, man, this abomination, man. It's round tripped back to May 17, huh? May 2017. I mean, like, you've literally done an 8-year round trip. Do you know how pathetic that is? Like, the altcoin market, that's how sadly oversold this piece of garbage is. It's saying you shouldn't have even existed as an industry for 8 years. That's what the prices are saying. It says you've added no value for 8 years, man. I will say market's wrong. 100% you're wrong. You're telling me privacy, Uniswap, Chainlink, DEXs like Hyperliquid, some JPEGs, the JPEG launches. You're telling me prediction markets, okay? Stack, StableCoin SuperCycle. You're telling me, Mr. Market, whatever you are, okay? Can't even tell these days. You're full of soybeans. You're telling me that's all worth zero? You're telling me that's worth zero? You're wrong, dude. I don't give a shit who the Mr. Market is, right? I'll literally, if I see Mr. Market out in the street, friends, I'll literally chokehold him or her or shim, whatever you are, from behind. I'll literally chokehold him, friends. I'll grab his stiletto, smash him on top of the head, and I'll just spear tackle him, okay? And the crowd will all be cheering, like, yes, yes, yes. Okay? That's how I imagine it in my mind. Really, what actually usually happens is Mr. Market comes back and looks at me and says, Do you want me to nuke 70% again, huh? And I'm like, no. I said nothing. I'm a bottom signal, sir. Please. I'm just a bottom signal. So, others BTC fans, listen. I hope you appreciate, fans. I'm putting the language so you understand how stupidly low these prices are. You're telling me there's been no reason to exist for 8 years? Just put a bullet in your head. No reason for existing. All the code, all the chains, everything, all ETFs. Nah, doesn't mean anything. None of it means anything. Just delete everything. Goodbye. Go and celebrate Bitcoin, which is internet Ponzi, and pray that the guy after you just pays more for it. Okay? Which is still, it's good. It's a good use case. You know what I mean? Protecting against government, all this other stuff. But man, ask yourself this, friends. Is your world, your life today, compare it to 8 years ago, is it more digital or less? It's more digital, right? There's more Ubers, there's more Uber Eats, there's more Amazons, there's more AI, there's linking of all the networks, there's more Netflix, okay? There's more Your Friend Somi, right? All of these, it's becoming more digital. Do you think the next 8 years, by the way, is going to be more or less digital? Just ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Okay, obviously, it's going to be more digital. Duh. So, like, we're putting everything digital, even real-world assets, friends. The biggest real-world asset is just cash. Stablecoins. They're growing on chain. So that's why, friends, I am offended by how ridiculously low these prices are. But, you know, it's not up to you and me. We still need that business cycle to turn up, right? 35 months. So this week, I think like maybe in a day or two, the PMI will come out. It's consensus around 49 anyway. And remember, it's backwards looking. You need the indexes and stuff to pop up. Friends, a lot of people have been posting this US dollar chart, the Dixie, the DXY, and they basically said, oh, US dollar's bottoming out and it's going to like go on a rampage up higher. Look, man, it can. I know they've all got all the fractals and it looks like a crashing structure and it goes back up. But, I don't know. Maybe just like the world wants to crank on stable coins and stuff out here. So all of this stuff. And look, just let me tell you something. Do you know the higher the US dollar goes, the more they can print? Yeah, because if the US dollar is stronger like this, it basically tells you, hey, Fed, you're allowed to print more money. Yeah, you're like, look at this, friends. The US dollar, because it went down so fast, the stronger it goes, they go, oh, wait, sweet. We can actually cut rates more and we can print more money. And the currency's still going to be strong. These other countries can't do that. Philippines can't do that, right? Scam Long Dong in Vietnam can't do that either. No one can do. You can't print aggressively without sending your currency to the pooper unless you're the world reserve currency. World reserve, as in everybody keeps a bid on you, okay? So that's something interesting to think about. Now let's crack on, friends. So I just want to remind you, Coinbase App Store ranking is 252, okay? Remember, Coinbase, friends, they the retail, it's a very good pure retail indicator because they hate crypto now, they delete it. They went and lined up for gold, bought the top literally within the hour. They all lined up at the same time. So it predicted the top in 3 out of 3 times when it hit App Store ranking #1. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily do that again, but you'd think with a ranking of 252, it's nowhere near even top 10. Okay, we didn't even see it attempt to get even the top 100. That's how bad the sentiment's been. And people are calling the top in the end, but whatever. So, friends, as you've seen now, President Trump officially makes a deal with China. And I've just guessed here, right? Maybe the S&P 500 has a little gap up, but it can't hold it eventually and like fades off over the day because it's pretty much priced in, bit of a news failure, and then it just like maybe skitzes around. Crypto is still in massive fear at a ranking of 35. Let's play some Pumpy G music for everyone out there. In a lot of fear, friends, a lot of fear. So when we have a lot of fear, it means there's no weak hands because we just had massive, where the Chinese exchange cabal come and destroy us all. Destroyed everyone on leverage, $22 billion wipeout. A lot of people saying, like, it's turbo negative. What I should do now, friends, is show you some blockchain backer charts. He's still turbo bearish, pretty much. He's like, 50-50, that means turbo bearish. Okay, so here we have XRP. So I guess their main concern is on the weekly. Their main concern is that XRP's RSI is going down on the weekly. All right. But friends, I want to tell you something. The RSI and the MACD, you got to understand, it's more so the MACD stuff. Like, you got to understand, friends, the MACD it's a 13 period and a 26 period moving average, okay? Doing that stuff. Crypto obviously has different players now than the past 3 cycles, okay? It correlates harder with stocks. It's the institutional footprints are different. The candles are different. Everything's about it different. I mean, like, for example, friends, like, you know, when people say, oh, are you saying this type is different? Well, Habibi Albi, did Bitcoin not break its all-time high in the Bitcoin halving year? Yes, it was different. Do you remember? It literally broke the all-time high in the Bitcoin halving year, 2024. It's never done that before. Okay, so yeah, this time has been different. There's been new players here. They don't give a crap about stuff like that, right? So when you're using this MACD as well, that's just something I'd say be careful of. You want to know, okay, how can you be wrong? That's why, you know, friends, a lot of these bears, they don't ask themselves that question. So for bulls, we're like, bro, we've been bleeding for 5 years. We're lucky to make it alive by this point, okay? I don't even plan on living in the next 1 or 2 years. The rate, my heart's been degrading watching this. But, okay, if you're a bear, ask how you're wrong, okay? And look, it's a total cop-out when they say, oh, if the price goes up a lot, I'll declare that I'm wrong, actually, and I'll now be bullish. Like, just, no. How would you actually be wrong? Well, maybe the data you're looking at reveals that you're a bit of a soy boy. It could be that, you know? So you got to understand, friends, like when you're looking at, this is a MACD, this is a 13 and a 16 period moving average. Okay, if you're using the same pattern from 2021, there might be totally different players now. Yeah, maybe they take longer to DCA in. Maybe they take longer to DCA in and put in whatever investment they want to put in. So that's one thing to consider, right? Which means it stalls out, makes the patterns different. Here you have what he still thinks is going to happen, where if we're lucky, he says, one last move up, and then it's literally game over. Bitcoin's going below 90,000 down here. But in this period, friends, he says would be an alt season. The problem is, bro, we got 2 weeks. Do we really think Bitcoin dominance in the next 14 days is going to do this massive move? I'll show you soon. This is XRP. He thinks XRP, if you're lucky, you do one more fake up, and then everyone's going to zero. And then if I show you again, this is Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin dominance is rolling over. So, and then I'll show you the chart he's actually looking at as well. If we continue, this is more BTC. So this is Bitcoin dominance just going straight down, then it's all over. Okay, like in 14 days, which is what's meant to do. Just here's the thing, man. I can look at the different data and tell you, okay, here is something for you to observe, my friends. If you're looking at Bitcoin dominance, okay, Bitcoin dominance only does the massive spike up when look at this, it needs like 5 green monthly candles in a row. Okay, the final 2 are like massive explosion. Okay, in 2017 cycle, it was 6 green candles in a row. Okay, we just had a red one. We had 2 red ones. That's how bad it is. We had 2 red candles in a row. So there is like, we're not getting alt season in 14 days. Like, we know that. It's just, you know, with market caps and everything out here, 0% chance. So, well, I guess what he's leaning on, he goes, well, you know, one case for the bulls is Bitcoin dominance is still high. So basically, let me describe this to you in another way. Another case for the bulls is there's too many strong hands in altcoins after 4 to 5 years of holding. We have not seen a single weak hand enter. Right? There's no weak hands. They're out. Okay, so what you're basically saying is so why do bull markets end? You run out of buyers. Okay? Yeah, there's plenty of sidelined weak hands. They're not in. They're not in. All right? That's when the bull market ends. You run out of buyers. It has nothing to do with the sellers. Nothing to do with the sellers. Okay? So this is a real test of the theory now, though, of how I've been talking to you about this for like 3 years. Okay? Do you remember, friends, when Trump came and did the tariffs? And I said, look, a bull market ends when you run out of buyers, and Trump is making 4-year cycle people early, Jeet the bottom, and they did. They sold Bitcoin at 75K. Do you remember? Here's another example. So I guess BCB and everyone's saying, oh, we had all these liquidations, like bull market's dead now. And I'm like, liquidations, what are they, friends? They are forced selling. Okay, once again, I don't think the bull market's over. Okay, the bull market's over when you run out of buyers. Yeah? Well, did gold's bull market, you don't know if it's over or not, but I mean, look at the reaction instantly when everyone lined up. You got all the retailers to come in. So we'll see. Fed's Governor Christopher Waller calls for the Fed Reserve to cut interest rates again in December. So, friends, what I actually think is happening is we're going to get all the cuts and everything is going to go as normal. But the Fed's major loser strategy is I'm going to give it to them, give it to them raw in a family-friendly way, but I don't want them to get euphoric about what they're getting. I don't want them to spike up inflation. I don't want them to disrespect the US dollar. So I'm going to cut along the way, but we're only going to like leave the window open until the last week, okay? He's basically what he's doing is, okay, he's literally saying, hey, if you're a weekend non-believer, you are not going to be able to front run me. I'm not going to give you that advantage, all right? You're just going to have to get in. That's pretty much, I think that's what's pretty much happening. That's why he says, you know what, rate cards aren't 100% certain. And the data comes out weak, which they know is coming anyway, and they go, oh, well, the data's looking pretty weak. You see what I mean? Maybe that happens, okay? Maybe at the top, at the very end, when we've run out of buyers and we've got his replacement out, when they're going, oh, don't worry, we're going to stimulate like you've never seen before. And maybe won't even be able to make new highs on that, okay? And that hopefully that's next year sometime, you know, after we've run up a lot. We'll see. So Vitalik, friends, Vitalik has said we need open source and verifiable self-driving cars. Pretty nice. He's talking about cars. Vitalik, I need like food to eat on my table, and I need like crypto to like, you know, go up after 5 years so I can afford electricity. So we can worry about that stuff first. Then we can deal with the driving cars and, you know. Also, friends, I remind you, I made a video, released like, what, 8 hours ago or so. Cracker episode, okay? In this video, friends, so don't be fooled. And I've got Uncle Peter Schiff here in the video here, checking out Sydney Sweeney, because he made that comment here. For some reason, he goes, Sydney Sweeney's got great boobies. You know, so in here as well, the second half of the video, friends, we speak about AI and Tesla and robotics. So Tesla, they're already trialing. Okay, they've been doing this for months. I reported this, I think, on to you for 6 or 9 months ago. Tesla are trialing. They're competing with Uber, RoboTaxi, which is literally Tesla drives itself. But man, the cost saving is insane. So a $20 Uber trip now costs $4 because they removed the driver. And if you have a Tesla car, you lease it out. It's like you're yield farming your car. So what's that going to do? That's going to change the world, man. A lot of people, and they like realize, hey, I don't really need a car now. If this, look how cheap it costs. Do I really want to go blow 100 grand on a car when, like, you know, I could just keep paying for this and all the insurance and stuff? So this thing's going to change. This is going to change the game a lot. This will be really good. But I'm just giving you an idea of AI, friends, is super deflationary. It's cutting jobs like you won't believe. There's 8 million worldwide Uber drivers, right? And think about the other thing, friends. Just think about car sales maybe going down in certain areas. Car salesmen. Just think about a lot of the auto industry, how that's going to shift if Tesla's now making a crap load of the cars and you're just getting a car for a lot of your transport and stuff like here. And like just to tell you as well, it's not just about the car industry, everything out here. Just think about all the other stuff that we can't see. It's just I'm giving you a tiny snippet, you know. Romania, friends, have banned PolyMarket after $600 million crypto election bets. So Romania out here banning PolyMarket. PolyMarket as well with the prediction markets could be some sort of narrative for retailers later on. I kind of hope in anywhere from like 9 to 12 months from now, we see like nurses, like they finish graduation and then they just become prediction market punters. They're like, oh, I'm quitting my job. I'm just going to do prediction markets. I'd love to see something like that. You know, that's top signal stuff as well. People quitting their jobs to do that because the volume's so high and retail's in. There's so much weak hands, weak hand emotional money swinging, and then the volume all dies out later on. But we're nowhere near that point, man. We're nowhere near that point. Michael Chad Saylor tweeted, orange is the new color of November. So Michael Chad Saylor is going to purchase BTC. Again, remember the MNAV of MicroStrategy is very low. I think it went down. It's down to like 1.06. Remember, MicroStrategy does not trade over the weekends. Maybe we're going to have some cryptocurrency. That's another thing that pisses me off, by the way. We have now, friends, we're so powerful in crypto. We forced TradFi, which is worth like 200 trillion. We forced them to adopt us. We went 24/7. We are the product market fit. They're literally making all their products 24/7, friends, just like us. So MicroStrategy's MNAV 1.09. Yeah, so it's like it's really low. And you never know, man. Like a lot of people, they think it's some sort of bull market indicator, but not everyone thinks if it goes down, oh, there's no demand for altcoins. No, I think quite the opposite, dude. Quite the opposite. I think as it goes down, it'll do these lower high stuff. As it goes down, we'll probably see more and more demand coming and throwing themselves for alts. But we need the business cycle to turn up. 36 months in a row. Man, that's trash. Tomley's Bitmine now holds over 3.3 million ETH, worth 13 billion American dollars. Tomley, crowd favorite. He's actually buying the dip, friends. He bought the dip. He bought the dip twice on the weekend. So now it's a test, right? It's a test. Who's going to be right? People who say, hey, 4-year cycle's up, I'm clicking sell. Or Tom Lee, who says, you know what? TradFi wouldn't actually care about Wall Street. So I wouldn't actually care about this 4-year cycle stuff because we're looking at, earnings, stock market, the tech stuff's high. If the tech stuff high, I mean, you're an extension of the tech stuff. So we're happy to buy the dip. I wonder how this story's going to play out, right? Trump has nominated a pro-crypto lawyer, Michael Selig, to lead the CFTC. So remember, that's the Commodities Exchange Commission. So CFTC, I just like a lot of people, friends, as well, when you see stuff like this, you're probably wondering, why isn't the price going up? That's it, man. We're just part of the cycle where we can't. Maybe we're just not due now. Maybe we're due middle of the week, end of the week. Hopefully this month, man. I don't want to jinx it, but you can't just control everything with these news. Otherwise, you just hold back these news and make something infinitely go up forever and give everybody euphoria. Cycles don't work like that, right? Latest, Christine Lagarde calls the digital euro a symbol of trust as the crypto community calls it control. So, friends, I'm going to say something very, very naughty here that I'll repeat what I said at the start. If you see Christine Lagarde working the pole one night, don't tip her. Just don't. She's not worth it. Tip her friends. Don't even look at her. Don't even sit where she's dancing. Don't even make eye contact. Just don't. Just snob her. Okay? Digital euro. Okay? So euro, obviously they're going to do de facto CBDC, but basically everyone's eventually going to do it. But, Euro fans, unfortunately, man, they're not even giving everyone a chance. You have a $1,000 limit per month to withdraw. It's like it's taking the joke out of everything, right? It's because, they got to tackle inflation in the currency, combating the US dollar. So hopefully crypto makes some great strides in that department. That's why Asia wants obviously to overtake Europe. Okay, and that's why a lot of Asian countries, everyone's adopting crypto like it's nothing. They don't really care. It's no deal there. But the government currencies, they're gonna have a bit of an issue. Because your currency gets debased to do that. But at the start it might be good. Keeps your currency weak. People do tourism. They come and spend crypto in your country. That's cool. But yeah, what happens when your currency needs to be printed to kind of save the economy a bit? Well, now you're decelerating because if everyone's having stable coins, guess what? People in the country, they're going to keep buying US dollar, right? Because when we talk about stable coins, what are we really talking about? Just US dollar. Do you want to hold a stable coin of anything else? 1 in 20 people say, oh, I would like to hold my national currency. Nope. When your national currency is going down, okay, it's bear market stuff. US dollar's going up. You're getting destroyed. Okay, and if your currency is appreciating, it's because it's bull market stuff. But your currency is only going to go up 4 to 8%. Yeah, but you got crypto for that. Crypto's not going to go up 4 to 8% over a year and a half. It should go 1,800%. So yeah, I'm basically just telling you there's no reason to own any second place currency or worse, pretty much in most cases. CEO of Nvidia, Jensen Huang, says President Trump and President Winnie the Pooh's new trade deal have ensured Nvidia can compete in China's market. So Jensen, friends, he hit 5 trillion market cap. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? 5 trillion market. Nvidia, but it makes sense, They've literally made the brain of every AI, and they're literally max capacity orders for 5 years. 5 years. They're already booked out. Yeah, you can't do anything. You can't make an order. So they're like, hey, I want to make an order. They're like, okay, we'll get it to you 2031. Yeah, man, that's it. I mean, they got the best chip in the world. They do all the AI. You got to think about as well, friends, AI, our brain's going to blow, man. Our brains are going to blow. Just think about people who are blind when we get the little Neuralink tube to their eye socket and then it hooks up to the AI computer and AI can render the image and beam the image to them. It can render everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, just think about stuff like that, because you're rendering everything in real time. You know what I mean? It's totally Matrix stuff. It's like everything's augmented reality. Okay, because like if you don't actually need to touch it, is it there? You know, all these other stuff coming out. But, you know, AI going up, friends, from Nvidia. Nvidia's infrastructure. It's not, you know, the BitConnect stuff of AI Ponzi things, you know. Nvidia says it's going all in on bringing manufacturing back to the US of A. It's great for our business. It's great for America. Everyone wins. So that might be it, friends, where they actually just going to make all the robots and stuff in America. And yes, the new war, it's not going to be this kinetic stuff, okay? Because the non-human intelligence don't want us to blow each other up anyway with that, because maybe we affect them, okay? Some sort of space-time rift or whatever is going on out here, multidimensionals. It's all about the AI wars now. The new wars fought with chips. How much energy compute can you do? How much intelligence compute can you do? Yeah, you got to think about this, friends. Like you're building a smart human. Okay, you're building a smart intelligence being. You're like building, dare I use the word, a god, but you're building some sort of intelligent entity. And the faster that you can make it the smartest, the higher the odds it's gonna get your scientists to accelerate their advancements of every science industry you can think of. Weapons, medical, everything you can think of. You see what I mean? So the race is on. And look, that's why when you see the stock market going parabolic, I don't think it's done yet. I don't think it's done. We're pricing in this future part now. Okay, we haven't got silly. Like, we haven't started to price in like, okay, now we've priced in 10 years into the future. Maybe that's too much. We haven't got there yet. Okay, what's that world going to look like? Well, when all the non-believers are finally in. That's what it's going to look like. Okay, it's going to look like everyone's partying naked. But you and I, friends, are still bound by the laws of gravity. Bitcoin dominance, still sitting under the 10-period moving average. We have this news coming out. So Trump's deal is done. And it's kind of funny how they just reset it. Now what? Now what? Now what? Remember, Bitcoin's still stuck in the middle of the range. Okay. I'm praying for some sort of friendship from that gold rotation. Okay. But BCB still thinks, oh yeah, one more up and then go down forever to zero. And it's literally all over. Start the bear market. He's buying Bitcoin at, like he said, like 69 to 65K, starting to buy here. Okay. So what would we need to see for us to conclude, oh yeah, bears are screwed? It would be a close above 118,000. Well, we actually like finish a week up here, and then yeah, if we can imagine, man, what a dream it would be if we finish November at like 120, just a 10% move up. That'd be dream, because you're above this 118,000 $, zone, and then like literally every single bear, friends, when we go up here, it'll be the first of the bears capitulating. Okay, but it's not going to be obvious for them. They're going to be like, oh, don't worry, we're below the all-time high. It's going to come back down. It's a fake out. It's a fake out. It's a fake out. And then maybe some sort of acceleration. But you and I, friends, on this journey together, like, subscribe. Catch you in the next one.